This is so dope.
Welcome back to another episode of the To Be Seen podcast. I'm Angela Lauren, and I'm sitting here with one of the coolest photographers, filmmakers, cinematographers, all of the things when it comes to art and creativity in Houston and in the United States. One of the dopest creatives that I've met and come across, Darrell Peel.
I appreciate the introduction. I'm so humble. I'm literally like too humble to even. When you say United States, they got
United States because you travel everywhere.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to just be like, oh, Houston is the only thing. Not fly him where you need him.
Man, I don't mind. But I really appreciate you for even having me on the podcast today. This is actually my first podcast that I've been on since I started my business, and I've been doing this for about 3 years now.
Dang, look at me being honored, being a guest.
That's why I brought you that gift, because it was this means a lot. This means
he
a lot.
came in with gift in hand, just such a gentleman, and like I said, dope creative. So I met Darrell at a birthday event from a mutual planner of ours, and I was just like, we're very similar. We had an instant connection on the fact that he does photo and video, and he kind of moves as a one-man show just like I do. And I was like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this business
At all.
To where I see him. He is a master hustler. He kind of is good at everything that he touches in my eyes. He does sports photography, sports films, graduations, events, weddings, anything you can think of. If you have a creative idea, he can execute it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's someone that I see that has that hustle spirit. So where does that come from? Did you always want to be in the arts, in the creative space?
Believe it or not, I've been an athlete my entire life.
Yeah.
Obviously not now, because I have my own business in photography and videography. But however, it started at a young age. Even when I got to high school, played football in high school, played football in college. Cutting grass with my granddad. Always making sure I had a job when I came back home from school. And prior to me being a videographer and photographer, I've done numerous amount of jobs.
Yeah.
I was in a police academy. I was a school teacher.
Yeah.
I worked at mattress firm. I was a waiter. I did so much, but that was the hustle mentality that I had. I could never be stagnant, sit still, and not do something. However, one thing that a lot of people don't know is, in the midst of all those jobs that I had, I still had a creative mindset.
Okay.
So I used to download apps like Musical.ly and where it automatically edits the videos for you, or I would take pictures on my phone.
Yeah.
I never had the fancy equipment, but that mentality has always been in my mind. So when I did start my business, I knew for a fact that, I can't see myself not being able to pay for my mortgage.
Yeah.
Not being able to take care of my kids and pay for bills and everything like that. So that hustle mentality has been there literally my entire life.
Yeah. So you started, like you said, you kind of were an athlete and you got into many things. So how did you land on picking up a camera?
So I like being in front of the camera.
Yeah, you do.
Like this right here is like, I'm cheesing from ear to ear, because this is my element. This is me right here, originally. I started off being in front of the camera, making YouTube videos. I actually had a YouTube video that went viral with over 1 million views.
Yeah.
I was dancing. I used to make crazy, especially when COVID started, everybody was stuck in the house. I went TikTok crazy.
Yeah.
I was making a lot of TikTok videos. And after a while, I seen how much engagement that it got, I started to think, and a lot of people sometimes really got that idea of their business during COVID because we had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
We had nothing else but to sit at home and do nothing. So I really just had this thought like, man, I've always wanted to be in movies, but I also wanted to make movies.
Yeah.
I love seeing myself in front of the camera, but I always wanted to know how I feel. What if I capture somebody else and have them get that experience? Because even though they're not on HBO, Disney Channel, Stars, they could be on Studio Peel.
Yeah.
And that could be their, that's somewhere they could probably start and be like, oh, I actually do like being on the camera. I look good on the camera.
Yeah.
So therefore, I invested in a small vlog camera. It wasn't the best. And when I became a teacher, I also did media for the school. And I actually started on my phone. That was my first camera.
So you know how to make it work with whatever you have.
Man.
I love that.
Phone, I had the editing apps on my phone.
Yeah.
And then, that's where, it started from there.
And you were like, let me put the teaching job down and let's just go full force with this.
So yeah, I was actually let go because I wasn't certified. So I wasn't able to teach the following year. So instead of me, feeling down on myself, I already was into the media part.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me go ahead and start my own business on this. I already saved, I invested in it, but I did not know where it was gonna take me.
Yeah.
I had no idea. It was just, God, I'm gonna leave it all up to you. And whatever you say goes, however you feel like, however this goes, it's on you. And when I spent, oh my God.
When you put that money down.
When I spent that $4,000 plus dollars.
You gotta make it work.
I said, I'm making this back.
Yeah.
I ain't got no choice now.
Yeah.
But what's the point of spending $4,000 and
sitting on it?
Don't profit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of the. That's what made me pick up a camera and go full out, and I took off and I never landed.
Yeah, and so let's circle back to you. Also, like I said, you do everything like that you can be creative to make other people feel creative. So if anybody has any type of idea, if it comes to like a sports reel or whatever they need, you can execute it. So what has been kind of your favorite thing to capture? What's your thing?
Man, okay, I'm glad you asked me this because I kid you not, like I was in the shower talking to myself about this particular situation. So it's not even about the one thing that I like to capture. It's about what I capture and how it makes that person feel. In these past 3-4 months, I've lost a lot of people. A good friend, a few uncles, my granny.
Yeah.
They're no longer here with us. However, every family function, I always bring my camera to capture every memory, and to be able to capture different memories regardless, whether it's football, whether it's a family photo, that's something that person will always be able to go back and look on and be like, oh my gosh, I forgot I had this picture, or man, look at so-and-so, man, they were so happy.
Yeah.
That's something they could always see, even for weddings. A lot of people are focused on the decor and trying to go viral, but it's like, live in that moment.
Yeah.
Don't live for the moment, and don't worry about what's going on. That's what the videographer and photographer is there for, to capture those moments. So you can always go back and look at that, because like I say, they go crazy about the decor. They go crazy about the venue, spend money. Like at the end of the day, when that wedding is over, that venue's gone, that decor is gone, the food is gone, the people is gone. But the only thing you really gonna have is that video or that photo to remember what happened on that day.
Yeah.
So to be able to capture moments and send it to my clients and see their face lighten up, or even if they call and leave a voice message or a audio message telling me how they're in tears right now for watching their video, is the best thing besides what I capture. Yeah. Because that goes for anything. The recent video I just posted on social media, it was Houston Texans wide receiver Tank Dell. It went viral.
Yeah.
Cool. But the most important thing is that he previously, before this video, about a few weeks before he started back training, he got grazed, shot in a somewhere he was at, just at the wrong place at the wrong time. He wasn't involved in anything. However, when people got the news, the city of Houston is panicking. Oh my gosh, that's like one of our best receivers. Like, we need him. But then once I dropped that video, they seen that he was okay and he's looking like he's ready to go, which he is.
Yeah.
And now everybody's like, whew, we good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this because of my video, but my video helped a whole city relax, you know? So that is that's the best thing when it comes to capturing. I don't even have a particular thing I like capturing the most. It's about how it makes everybody else feel at the end of the day.
And, you know, touching on that, what I noticed about you, I mean, we had a small interaction, but just seeing how you are with your clients, what I feel like sets you apart is that you have you make sure you have a genuine connection to it, to them, to the work, to anything. And it's like, you don't get that often because a lot of people show up and they just want to do their job.
Right.
But to me, what I see from you is like, there's so much love in it. And there's so much like, you offer all of yourself when you do it.
Yeah.
And so have you always been that type of person?
I'm a giver.
Yeah.
I'm a giver. Like, you didn't even know I was going to bring you that gift.
I had no idea, but that's on brand for you.
And that's, you get what I'm saying? So that's just something, I've always been in a, we could get a little personal.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Okay, cool. So it's not like super deep personal, but however, I'm trying to get better at it and do it in the most respectful way, but I'm a people's pleaser.
Yeah.
I like to see people happy.
Yeah.
And if someone's not happy or if someone's not pleased by certain things, I feel bad, I feel guilty, and I try to go my way to make sure that person is good. But sometimes that can overwhelm me.
Yeah.
And it takes away from me focusing on myself as well. So yes, even though I am like that towards my clients, I feel like I get this big ball of guilt when I take a step back and, you know, do something for myself. Because I feel like I feel like some people feel like I'm only just supposed to focus on videos and photos, and you know, you could get burnt out.
Yeah.
You know, if you do it so much.
They take the human part out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Believe it or not, people see me fly all the time.
Yeah.
And as soon as they see me get on a plane, they're like, oh man, you're doing it big. And it's like, no, I'm just working. I'm doing the same thing I'm doing in Houston, but somewhere else. I have yet been able to take a legit vacation.
Yeah.
And
well, you and I
have yet to be able to take
person.
A legit vacation. I think the most recent vacation I took was to Colorado at the beginning of the year, and that was like for 2 days, and that was it. But, you know, August, I'm actually gonna do something for myself. I'm gonna go to Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go enjoy myself, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it.
And I'm proud of you. I love that.
I'm not gonna feel bad about it because at the end of the day, I still have a life.
You have thank you.
I have a life. I have kids. I have like everything that you could possibly think of. I wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
It's not just video and photo.
Yeah.
And when people see you post things and it has nothing to do with their work, they think you're not worried about their work, and it's like, no, you're not the only person that I'm working with. You're not the only thing that's happening. Things happen in life. People who's gonna see this, a lot of people don't know that I lost that many people within the past 3-4 months. You know, they focus
where's on the
my
work.
video? Where's my photo? Which is completely understandable.
Yeah.
Like, I try my absolute best to give everybody their work efficiently.
Yeah.
But life be happening.
Yeah.
It happens. So, but that's the same thing. It goes back to me with my clients. And they have to reschedule. They show up a little late. I try to give them grace because life happens.
Yeah.
So
that two things. Well, I'll circle back to the second thing. So with that, then what is your safe space, especially as a young Black man, and like how do you then recharge and recover when you feel like you're depleting yourself? Yeah, we're gonna get deep here, Darrell.
Believe it or not,
Yeah.
this is my safe space, but I know what my safe space needs to be a little bit more on. I'm a kid at heart,
Yeah.
so working out,
Okay.
playing a video game,
That's it. If that's what you need.
those, and now I got into golf.
Okay. Listen, you gotta hit straight consistently. Is what I've learned.
And then however, what I need to do is stop making those my main safe space, and I need to start getting into my Bible a lot more.
Okay.
Because that's, if without God, none of this would have been, and I know that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm also trying to restrain from idolizing so much things, even my business.
Yeah.
Because once again, without God, none of this would be here. None of this would happen. I wouldn't be sitting in this couch right here with you, explaining this to people those who are watching. However, even though those are my safe space, I'm trying to do better with being in my Bible a lot more, spending more time with my family, and I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
People see the glitz and glamour on social media. In the midst of me hurting inside, not even just as a black man, but just a man in general, in the midst of me hurting, stressed, overwhelmed, I had bad anxiety.
Yeah.
People don't know that. They see me smiling in front of the camera, but they think everything is perfect. But deep down inside, I am screaming for help.
Yeah.
I need, this is tough.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to break down in front of my family at home. I don't want to break down in front of the camera, because that's really none of people's business.
Yeah.
However, I haven't even been able to grieve.
Yeah.
I've been having back-to-back deaths happening, and I have not yet been able to grieve because I've been so busy focusing on making sure my clients are good.
Are there, yeah.
However, sometimes I need a break. I'll go and play my video game. I work out 5 times out of the week. Mm-hmm. And that releases a lot of stress. Like working out, it releases a lot because you feel like you have to as a man, we have testosterone. So I choose to, lift weights, not out of anger, but just as a stress reliever to calm my nerves.
Yeah.
And now I'm playing golf is also another thing because it's peaceful.
Yeah.
And I'm not that good at it yet, but I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I am getting better for sure.
Yeah. So you lean on God. That brings me to my next thing so tell me about how you deal with criticism then, especially as a people pleaser and someone that has anxiety, and we're artists. So we have a sensitivity when it comes to, we pour ourselves into something, but then that also comes with critiques. So what happens when a client is like, that wasn't really my cup of tea? Or how do you deal with criticism?
I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I rarely get criticism.
Okay, that's good.
Rarely.
Yeah.
That's because that's the people pleaser inside of me. However, I it's not necessarily criticism. It's, hey, do you think you could just change this?
Okay.
And that's, I really wouldn't even call that criticism. It's just something that everybody has their insecurities that I don't necessarily know about.
Yeah.
And, they don't tell me, I wouldn't even know. So I don't necessarily try to leave things out. They tell me to change something, I just change it for them. However, if I do, I've gotten it before, and I just took it with a grain of salt, and I just learned from it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily, I will be lying if I say this. It does hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Sometimes because I strive to be great.
Yeah.
100. I give 189 times infinity%
Yeah.
on everything that I do. And I know for some clients, they probably look like, man, my video don't look like this, but sometimes the clients don't deliver like what they see on the inspo.
Yeah.
Or they don't have the same setting as what they see on the inspo. So it's only so much I could possibly do.
Yeah, you can't make a feeling happen.
You really can't. Like you could say you wanna feel like you're floating in the middle of the ocean, but you have a setting like this. It's gonna be extremely hard.
Yeah.
I could do what I can, or I could tell you, no, I'm not able to do that. Before you even send me the money, don't book.
That part.
You know, so, and I've been getting better at that. A lot of people have inspos, and believe it or not, in the past few months, even including last year, I've told more clients no than people told me no.
Yeah.
Because my piece is more important than money. And I don't feel like, if I know I can't do this for you, I'm not trying to risk that time to be criticized about anything, because I know in my mind, like, ooh, people, and even when how you brought me in, it was like, people would say, man, you cold at it, I know you can do it. I tell you I can't do it.
Yeah.
That means it's not that I would never know how to do it, it's just at the moment, that's just gonna take time. I need to learn and practice this.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to be the crash dummy.
And it doesn't align. And I think that's good, because you've learned, like, let me set a little boundary here. Let me not take on everything, because then at the end of the day, not only does it stress you out, but then you're like, okay, this didn't even amount to something because it just gave me a little money, but it also took away some of my sleep. It also took away, like, it's staying on my mind for too long.
Yes. That's right on the money right there.
Like, I'm like, I completely understand, because my new word is like, nah. I'm good.
I like that.
I'm okay.
I like that. But I mean, it's now, how is it as a, because I know you asked me questions.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
We both videographers and photographers here, so it's let's get a little comfortable. Let's get a little comfortable. So if as a woman, videographer, photographer, how do you necessarily approach people with that answer no? Like, how do you?
You know what? That is a good conversation I haven't had with a lot of people. To be honest, it took me a while to grow that voice, to like really sit in and be like, you know what? Because I had that people pleaser mentality. I'm so far removed from it at this point, because it took me having breakdowns. It took me missing out on family functions. It took me losing relationships, because I was always thinking, I have to chase this goal. I have to be successful. I cannot fail. And I was failing myself. I was like, at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, you only have one life, just like you said. And so it became easier for me when I found out, okay, if I choose this path, I lose so much of my own life. So it got easier for me to start being like, you sound like you're gonna stress me out, or this sounds like it's gonna not work for me. Even if it could be easy, the way you approached me with it, the tone of how you approached me with it doesn't align with like the days I want to spend doing it.
Right.
So, and then also I was gonna say, I kind of have like a lioness jacket that I put on, where I'm like, okay, you can say, hey, you need to do this, or people try to kind of little girl us a little bit. I don't know if that happens from the male side. Maybe so. Maybe it's just
they try.
Yeah, sometimes they try to, at least for me in my experience, I get bullied into, you're gonna do this or you're gonna do that, and I'm like, I might look very meek. I might have this little smile, I might have this little baby face, but I can turn into like a little bit of like, you're not gonna play with me over here, because my life is more valuable than this.
Right.
So it took me struggling. It took me having a little bit of a breakdown to kind of be like, I'm not going back there. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So
that's and that's one of those things where, as photographers and videographers, people don't know that we are the professionals.
Yeah.
and we know what's best.
How this is gonna work.
How is you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, and like, I'm never rude to a client.
Yeah.
No matter how they come at me. And for one, I walk into every event, every project that I do with my head held high, like God sent me.
That part.
Like, that's the first thing. Second thing is energies being matched. I don't match the energy if it's negative.
Yeah.
You could be, anal about something, or you could be rude or act like you don't care. I'm still gonna have this nice smile on my face. I'm gonna still, treat you as if you're treating me as nice as I'm gonna treat you. Because at the end of the day, like I said, my peace and my mental is way more, important than the money.
Yeah.
So that actually brings me to my next point. As a videographer, I'm gonna say as a videographer first, because I really like doing videos.
Yeah.
More than photos.
I tell people that all the time.
Yeah. You
Yeah, I feel the same.
I believe videography is a lot better than doing photography on my end personally. Not, this doesn't go for everybody. It's because it captures the moment in action instead of still.
Yeah.
You can see the expressions, the emotions, the feelings. You can see people moving, interacting, fellowshipping with each other. And you can also tell, my biggest thing, a story.
Yeah.
Telling a story is by far and absolutely, because you could do a slideshow of pictures and be like, oh, and you watching it. But then, however, you could take that slideshow and convert it into a video with people actually talking. You can hear what they're saying in that moment, because you can see a picture of me doing this to you, but then when you actually see the video, you're like, oh, they was talking about this. That's why it brings a whole perspective of that moment than, a photo would.
Yeah.
So
it comes alive, and it's just like that. You can see a moment and like appreciate it, but I think for video, you make somebody participate, like they're actually in it. And you can just relive it over and over again, and you can hear the sounds, the birds chirping, although we can like do that in post.
Yeah.
But still, it's just like you create a whole different vibe than something that's still. And not to say that photos aren't important, they are, but the video is just, it's something about it. That's my favorite thing lately.
Can't say photos not important, because you definitely do some dope photos.
Bruh, that was,
you cold, for real.
Try it.
For real.
But yeah, I love video. But I was gonna go back to, so we're talking about God. Do you think being a child of God and believing in God has a lot to do with your confidence? Because you're saying, you walk into a room like God sent you there. And a lot of people, I think that might also speak to the fact that why you can get along in so many spaces, in so many things, because some people look at us and they're like, I don't want to do weddings, they're scary, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. And you even work with athletes that are big names. Do you think that has a lot to do with your beliefs?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I manifest a lot, and I'm trying to actually take that back. I'm trying to remove myself from saying manifesting. I literally speak to God. I have my moments. Now, do I do it every single day, all the time? No, I don't. Do I need to do better at it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I catch myself sometimes like, man, look, you didn't do all of this by yourself. Sometimes I actually put a hashtag underneath my post saying hashtag AGTG, meaning all glory to God.
Yeah.
And I don't like being called the GOAT. But as far as the term GOAT, I do refer it as God over all things.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of things that I've done. I have my ups, I have my downs, and it's not crazy, but it's nobody but God. how every time people really think you got it made. When they see your posts and they see, especially with me working with big time athletes, they think I'm just balling.
Yeah.
Man, I dang near little paycheck.
It's hard. That hustle, it's hard.
Hey, man, it is literally like he always come at the right time. So I'm looking at my bank account like, dang, mortgage due in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you one thing, I've never missed a mortgage payment. I've been in a house. He gonna show up.
He gonna show
I've been owning my house for about, what's that, 20, it's after COVID, for about 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
And I've never missed a mortgage payment. And I don't think I never will because of him, of God. So, and I just thank him every time. I'm like, man, God, thank you.
You showed up.
And I see, and I keep worrying. I don't know why I keep worrying. It's like, you have to pray. You should never pray and worry.
Yeah.
Because if you pray and you worry, you basically lacking faith in God.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get better at that, because he be doing some stuff, man. I be like, man, look, oh gosh, this is a lot. However, he pulled through because I'm his, I'm his child, and and what people should understand, no matter what you do in life, no matter what mistakes and whatever you do, you're still God's child.
And he didn't put you on this journey to fail. Like, he
true.
didn't set you up for this to fail. And that's what I always go back to, because I have those same moments where I'm like, okay, it's getting a little dry right now. But I think I have a tattoo of a tree that always remembers that there are seasons. How do you know anything different? How do you get deeper in your skill set? How do you get deeper in your faith if you don't go through anything?
Facts.
It always draws you closer to God. But yeah, that's my reminder. It's like, you're going to go through seasons, and I always have to say, God didn't put me here to fail. He just didn't put me here to fail. And then he shows up every time.
That is true. How do you in particular, how do you get through that? Like, saying it is one thing, especially when you say it to others, like what we're talking about right now, but how do you necessarily, and I'm asking you, videographer, photographer, how do you get through that when you have that dry moment? In that moment, how do you pull through?
I think it's a gift and a curse, but I always go back to, I can do anything. Like, I have a massive skill set, and I can lend my skill set to anything. So photo, video, helping, assisting, whatever it is. And then also, I trust in my network. So you have so many people around you, like you with me, me with you. I have so many people around me. And if I show up honestly and I say, hey, like, I got a slow summer and I want work, then I just tell all my friends. And they're like, so if they know, they're like, all right, so-and-so needs you over here. So-and-so needs you over there. But no one can help if they don't know.
Right.
No one can help you. No one can lean on you. No one can speak your name in different rooms if they don't know. They think you have it all together. So I kind of always lean on my network, and I say, like, there are so many people that have no idea how to use video. You just literally helped me with the podcast setup. A lot of other people don't know how to set up.
Right.
So that you have a skill set that a lot of people don't. So there's so many people that need help.
Yeah.
But they don't know to ask for Darrell if they think Darrell's schedule is completely booked.
And that's another thing, man. Why do people really think they know your business because of what you post? And people fail to realize that we only post what we want you to see. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we can post, but we don't want you to see that yet. You don't know what I have planned for the next month, the next year. Yeah. And that's the thing, especially when it comes to booking, they see you posting a lot of stuff, and what people fail to realize, a lot of stuff that I post be old stuff.
It's all, you're pulling back from the archive.
Right, so I can show work, showcase, keep myself relevant. Yeah. They look at that, instead of looking at it as like, oh, he does really good work, I want to book with him. They look at it as, oh, he's doing a lot of work. He's booked. He's busy. He's busy. Yeah. Oh, you booked and busy. Yeah. And that really, it always comes from it. I'm not throwing shade, but you know who you are. Let's be real. I think it's funny. I'm not even throwing shade, but I think it's funny. They'll say, I want to book with you a month in advance. Cool. Days open. Yeah. Week of, hey, I want to book. Somebody that's got that spot. Oh, you booked and busy. No, you just waited too late.
They think that, and I'm like, why would you think? They'll be like, wait, today, okay, so today is Wednesday. They'll be like, are you free Saturday? If you thought that I waited for Saturday, Saturday's a massive day for creatives. Like, if you think that I just sat here for weeks leaving Saturday open.
The weekends are the craziest days. And you have the nerve to wait until
3 days before.
3 days before. Now, there have been some.
There are situations.
I can only count on one hand.
Yeah.
How many people got lucky
Yeah.
booking me the last minute on for a weekend. It's not a lot.
It does not work that way.
It's not a lot. And I completely understand myself. Completely understand. People don't have the funds at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
People trying to save up to get the funds. People are still trying to make sure they have the look together. I completely understand that. However, us videographers and photographers, it's the camera. Us videographers and photographers do not revolve our world around y'all.
Yeah.
Respectfully, we still have other people who want to book, people who want to work. Also, outside of that, we still have personal lives as well. So, that being said,
don't wait. Do not wait.
Don't wait, because when you say you're gonna book and we look at the third day and you haven't booked yet, we're trying to find other work so we can still be able to handle our business, invest in our business and our bills.
Yeah.
So we can't wait a month waiting for y'all, man. It's just you wouldn't want to wait to get paid from your job 4 weeks after you done did everything you're supposed to do. So we the same way.
That's what's just down way.
Yeah.
So I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. So we're on the To Be Seen podcast. Mm-hmm. So what does it look like for you to be seen? Like, what does it mean for you to be seen?
Dang.
That's a tough question.
Man, that is a very tough question.
Especially in the art world.
Yeah. Like, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Or
you know what I was thinking about? Sorry, and this might not be your definition, but you made a post about follower counts, likes, things like that, being like, that stuff does not define your worth in this business. And that does not mean that the quality is not there if you don't have this large follower amount or if you don't have this massive engagement. So to me, I was like, that also goes into, you can still show up and be seen by the core of people who are watching you. You don't have to be seen by the masses to be looked at as a great creator, a great videographer, it's like, we don't have 1 million followers,
right?
But people look at us like we're still beastie. That's my favorite word.
Man,
Very
I like
beastie.
that word too. that is true. That is true. I mean, it goes back to where I was saying, capturing the moments for my clients. To be seen for me is being genuine in the gratitude that I can give to my clients, to the clients that are working with me, instead of looking for the clients that I don't even know yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, my thing is, it's integrity. If you keep doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to be seen. You don't have to know when, where, and how. You don't even need millions of followers to be seen. As you said before, we don't have that many followers, but people see us.
Yeah.
And that's because we continue to do what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like as long as we keep doing what we're doing, God already has a spot for us with our name on it.
Yeah.
So there's no need to try to rush and get there. Now, yes, you'll see us posting a lot. Yes, you see, you having this podcast. You're not trying to go viral. You're not necessarily just trying to be seen. You're just trying to be consistent and get better at what you're doing as a videographer, photographer. So, at the end of the day, it's cool to be seen. However, it's even better to be able to perfect your craft.
Yeah.
Because at that point, when your craft, and you're never too big to learn or
Yeah.
to get better. But once you get better than you were the day before, you're gonna be like, dang. It's not. You're not even gonna have to figure out how to be seen. You're going to be seen.
Yeah.
You're gonna have no choice but to be seen because you're consistent on what you're doing, and you're attempting to get better every single day. And like I say, always my biggest competition is myself, not other photographers or videographers. Whatever video I just posted, oh man, I don't care if it did get 400,000 views. I gotta top that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't care who else got more views than that. I have to top that. I have to do better than that because that's what people are looking for. So, yeah.
And you answered that second question, which is like perfecting your craft. Like always focusing on perfecting your craft. It's not necessarily about what people are seeing. It's about how you feel and what you're doing for yourself. And I love that. So I'm so thankful for you being on this podcast, your first podcast since you started
I appreciate
Studio
it.
Peel. So let the people know where they can find you, how to follow you, how to keep up with you, all those things.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram. It is _Studio Peel. And once you go to that page, you'll see I have other pages tagged in the bio that you can follow for my weddings and my sports. Also have YouTube. Everything is Studio Peel. Website, www.studiopeel.net. And most importantly, you can find me on the To Be Seen podcast, man. It's
lit.
Got to.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate you for listening, for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.
See y'all. Really appreciate that.
That was
we
lit.
finished right on time
oh my
too.
God.
Like that's
Thank
dope.
God.
I can help you get this stuff.
All right, let's break it down.
Everything.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah, it's gonna be so dope.